my name is Windsor, everyone calls me Wins, and what I like doing is telling crazy stories about my life. Now this story is going to take back in Hawaii. Yes, I used to live there, small flex. So I learned how to spearfish when I was out there. And so on this day, I decided to bring my friend who's like, yo Wins, let's go spearfishing. I'm like, all right, dope. So we go spearfishing, we get on the beach, I put my wetsuit on, I got my spear gun. So the spear gun, I don't know if you guys know what a spear gun is. So it's like this long gun, right? And it has a trigger and it has a long rod on the gun. So when you shoot it, it has a line that stays on the rod. So whenever you shoot it, you only get one shot. It takes about 2 minutes to reload. So we start swimming. We're swimming about 3 feet of water. So we're swimming on the water, and then we get to this drop off where it drops off to about 30 to 35 feet. So I have a buoy attached to me. Buoy, basically, you have this buoy on the line, and whenever you catch a fish, you put on the line so you don't have to deal with the fish around you. So I'm spearfishing, I'm just like, bah, got a fish. I'm like, bah, got another one. Doing pretty good. And then I tied the rope to my leg, and I feel a tug on my leg. I looked at my friend, I'm like, haha, funny, let's not do that. So I'm spearfishing again, bah, got another one. I feel another tug on my leg, and I'm like, okay. At this point, I'm like, this is not funny anymore, there could be sharks around. So I start spearfishing again, next thing you know, I hear, da-na, and I'm like, what the hell is... So I keep on spearfishing, and I hear that again, da-na, and I'm like, what's going on? I turn behind me, there's like a 4 to 5 foot shark just doing figure eights around me. I'm like, oh my God. The first thing that came to my head was a video of an Australian guy saying, whenever you encounter a shark, grab your hand, ball it to a fist, and punch that fucker in the face. I don't know why that was the first thing that came to my face. So I looked at my hand, and I was like, get your hand down. Oh, to fist and punch that fucker in the face. Okay, so the shark is still doing figure eights around me, and I'm like, oh my God, this is it. So he's doing figure eights, and then he decides to leave. Let me tell you what, I turned into the Black Michael Phelps, because that was the fastest I ever swam in my life. I was out of there. So I'm swimming. Next thing you know, this was probably the craziest thing that ever happened to me in my entire life. I get pulled back about 6 feet, and I'm like, what? I turn around, I'm staring at the shark. The shark is right here. I'm staring at the shark's staring at me, I'm staring at the shark. I'm like, oh my God, pee. I just pissed my pants. I was like, yo, what is going on? So I'm like this close to the shark, and the shark is going to town, and it was as clear as day. I saw all the shark's teeth and everything. I feel like I was in a National Geographic TV show. Like all we were missing was a British guy narrating everything. Like, look, as the black man is feared for his life, peeing his pants. And so I'm thinking in my head, I'm like, oh God. Grab your hand, ball it to the fist, punch that fucker in the face. And so, but then I realized, you know, this shark, I'm in his house, right? I'm eating his food. That's like you going to Cheesecake Factory after a long day's work, right? You stay in line, it's a long line. You get your food after an hour, you go back home, you put the Cheesecake Factory food all on the table, you even put your favorite Netflix TV show on, right? And you use the bathroom. You come back, and I'm just on the table just eating your cheesecake. I'm already going halfway through the Netflix series, and you're just like, what the heck is going on? So that's probably what the shark felt like. So now I'm looking at the shark. The shark's looking at me. He's like, why are you peeing your pants? I'm still looking at the shark. And then my hand, right, is balled up to the fist. And then I realized, I have a spear gun in my other hand. Like I totally forgot about that fact. So I'm just like, all right, I got this gun. If you cross this line, I gotta shoot. Like that's my only option. And then I started to realize, I was like, damn, this shark probably feels like I'm just sitting, eating Cheesecake Factory food, watching his Netflix, and then he just like approached me, and then I bring my gun out, I'm just like, cross this line, and I'm gonna shoot. And he's just like, bitch, you're in my house. So now this shark is, like I said, going to town. He's eating, and I have my spirit gun. He doesn't get any closer, and then another thing pops in my head. I'm like, oh no. Well, what if, I'm gonna call this shark's name Kevin. I'm like, what if Kevin is having a sleepover and his friends are just lurking around and I don't even know? And I'm like, damn, I'm about to be like freaking stripper at this sleepover. So I can't really look around because I'm focused on Kevin. I'm looking at Kevin. Kevin's looking at me. I'm looking at Kevin, still peeing my pants. And then I don't know what happened in Kevin's mind. He's just like, you know what? You're peeing. Wait, are you crying? I started crying. I just couldn't control. I started crying, peeing. He's like, you're peeing and crying. You know what? I'm just gonna peace out of here. So he started to swim away, and I was just like, thank God. So I turn around, and I become the Black Michael Phelps again, and then I'm swimming my fastest. I'm looking around to see if the freaking sleepover actually happened, see if Kevin's friends are around. And I finally make it to shore. I get out of the water. I'm like walking around. The little kid looks at me. Mommy, why is there water coming out of that guy's pants when he's not in the water? I'm like, shut up, kid. So I finally make it to shore, and my friend finally sees me. He makes it back to shore. And he's like, bro, what happened? I look to the buoy. I realize there's still a half-eaten fish on the buoy. I'm like, oh my gosh, Kevin, you're so nice, leaving me some leftovers. So I take the fish, I throw it at my friend, pop him in the face. And he's like, what's that for? I was just like, look at it. He picks it up, looks at me. He's like, why is that? I was just like, look at the fish. And he looks at the fish, realizes, I'm like, yes, shark attack. And he's just like, whoa, that was crazy. And so, what I'm leaving you guys with, if you ever encounter a shark, take your hand, put it into a fist, and punch that fucker in the face. Thank you guys. You guys did great. You guys are wonderful.
Yeah, Australians are fucking crazy.